What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. And I know I've been doing so many face cams, and I know you guys probably don't like seeing my face, but they're much easier to make and they're much more face to face. Nobody really seems to like my still images that I put, but that doesn't matter anyways. Please, before we talk about this Wonder Woman big news, please hit that subscribe button. It only takes 1 second and it makes a big difference to the channel. So please hit that subscribe button. And if you're a big movie fan, I think you're not going to regret that, because in this channel I talk about movies all the time. Every day I upload movie news, movie reviews, movie talks, everything movie related. So if you're as big of a movie fan as I am, then you're in the right place. But today's news is Warner Bros. Has officially confirmed it. Wonder Woman 1984, a movie that I gave up on a few months ago thinking that it would never be released, is finally going to be released this Christmas in theaters and on HBO Max. And this is actually interesting because this is the first time ever this is going to happen. And before we talk about how it's going to work, I just want to say I want to thank Warner Bros., Patty Jenkins, Gal Gadot, everyone who worked on this project, Chris Pines, everyone, Pedro Pascal, everyone that worked on this project. I want to thank them for working their hardest. Every time someone makes a movie, I give them applause, because making a movie is so much harder than people think it is. And I know this is the first time I'm saying this on the channel, but this is for every movie, even the worst movies you can think of, because making a good movie is difficult in and of itself. But I want to thank all of them, especially Warner Bros. For allowing this to happen. And now let's talk about I think if you had told me yesterday before the announcement was made if I think Wonder Woman was still going to stay on its Christmas release date, I would have told you no. Because I genuinely believed, yeah, we're not going to see it this year. 2020, the last comic book movie we saw was Birds of Prey. The last movie I saw in theaters was Sonic, which is disappointing. Actually, wait, the last one before the pandemic. I did go to see New Mutants, Tenet, and Freaky. Those are the 3 movies I saw in theaters. I did see some old ones like Back to the Future and The Dark Knight. But now Wonder Woman 84. I remember after I watched Tenet, I was like, mate, there's like the return of theaters. And then we did see lower budgeted movies. I did want to watch that Liam Neeson film, but I didn't get to see it because I honestly didn't want to go. But Wonder Woman 1984. Now, there's some rumors saying that it will be free, no additional fee on HBO Max. But either way, I want to go to a theater. I want to support the theater chains. I want the best for this movie. I know my $11 probably isn't going to do much. Like, let's face it, I'm not going to single-handedly save Wonder Woman 1984, nor am I going to promote people to go to the theaters and watch it. But, I still want to contribute. I still want to help out the theater chain. That's actually why I wanted to watch Tenet for the most part, because I wanted to help. Of course, I'm only doing this for movies that I think look good. And Wonder Woman 1984, I've been hyped up for this movie for 2 years, I think. Sorry, I apologize. I thought I heard something, but anyways, I'm hyped up. You guys are hyped up. I know that. And I cannot wait to see what goes on. And now, for those wondering how this is going to work, on Christmas specifically, it will be open in theaters. Well, if you live in a place, I can't answer this for you depending on where you live. But if you live in a place where theaters are open, then good news. You're more than likely going to watch Wonder Woman 1984 or have the choice to watch it there. If you're somewhere where theaters aren't open, I apologize. But don't worry, for those people that don't want to go to theaters or don't want to, or don't have theaters near you that are accessible, especially those people from New York and LA, don't worry, because HBO Max will be releasing it on HBO Max. So don't worry. So if you don't want to go to theaters, or if you don't have a theater open near you, then you got the choice to watch it on HBO Max. As of now, from what I know, Variety said that there are no additional fees. I honestly highly doubt that's actually true, but I could be wrong. I don't work for HBO Max. I don't work for Warner Bros., so I can't answer that. So that's how it's gonna work. I personally have HBO Max. I have a subscription. I pay monthly for it. Yes, I'm paying $14 a month just to watch this. A lot of good stuff on HBO Max. I thought it was just gonna be DC stuff, but there's actually a lot of stuff I got into. Like, I don't know. There's lots of good shows in it, but yeah. So I personally still am gonna go to the theaters. Because I wanna experience this movie in a theatrical. I love the cinema. My favorite time, any time in the morning, I wake up knowing I'm gonna go to the movies. That whole day, I'm just thinking, oh my god, I can't wait for this movie. I can't, because I just love the theatrical experience. I love going, seeing the black, pitch black. I love seeing, the big screen, the surround sound system. I love being with movie fans around me, and I love eating some good popcorn when I'm there and enjoying a great flick. I probably won't be around people. A lot of people, I'm someone who loves to be in a big audience because I've been to so many opening nights that, being with fans around is just so great. And even if they don't, like, I'm not someone who likes hearing people yell in theaters or clapping a lot. I don't mind if you clap after the movie. I actually do that quite a ton. But I just don't like when people yell that much. But I guess the good thing is, in my theater, at least in my theater, I don't know if this is for most theaters. I'm gonna assume this does happen for most theaters, but they separate seats so you're not next to people, which is good, and I like that. As of yet, there has been no stats that have shown that you get COVID-19 in theaters. And let me address something real quick. A lot of people have been complaining of Patty Jenkins specifically for allowing this to happen because there's a pandemic, there's more spikes, and right now there's more cases of the pandemic happening. And I gotta say something. This is not Patty Jenkins' choice. This is Warner Bros. No matter what Patty Jenkins says or does, this was always Warner Bros.' choice. Now, Patty Jenkins could have come into the office and be like, hey, I want this movie to be released on Christmas. But at the end of the day, this is Warner Bros.' money that they're messing with. Because Patty Jenkins, she's already gotten paid. She signed a contract that said, you pay me this much and you give it to me. Warner Bros., on the other hand, they don't have their own specific. Now they had to pay everyone, of course, like the crew, the cast, everyone around them, but they also have to make the money for their investors and themselves and other employees. And so Warner Bros. At the end is the one making the choice, but yet Patty Jenkins, I saw through her comments saying, "This is so irresponsible. How could you do this in a pandemic?" And Andy Signor, a YouTuber I really can't stand anymore, he said how, it is irresponsible to let a big blockbuster movie like this come out. Because let's face it, Wonder Woman 1984 is going to be the real first official test. They're going to be testing the waters here. Because comic book movies are the biggest movies in Hollywood right now. And there's no doubt about that. And now we're going to see our first one since the pandemic happened. And before you say New Mutants, no one cared about New Mutants. It was such a low-budget movie. I assumed that movie was going to flop even though the pandemic didn't exist. But yeah, lots of people were mad at Patty Jenkins. And Andy Signor specifically said that, of course, it was wrong to do that. And this is what I have to say. It is not wrong. Patty Jenkins herself said, only go to the theaters if where you're at it's safe and accessible. And not only that, but you also have the option to stay at home and watch it. Where I'm from, I'm not going to say specifically, but I'm from some part of Texas. There are cases, but not as many as, like, of course, the bigger cities, of course, which is more obvious. And my theaters are open. The closest theater near me, I don't like, but the second closest theater, that one's open. I remember when I went to go watch Tenet, I felt really, really safe. When I went to go watch New Mutants, I felt safe. When I watched Back to the Future, I felt really, really safe. The only time I didn't really feel safe was when I went to Cinemark and I watched The Dark Knight. There was a lot more people than I expected. But still, I did feel safe. They had the proper precautions. They wore the masks. They had Germ-X accessible everywhere. There was social distancing, even in the lines. And not only that, but yeah, everything felt really safe to me. I can't speak for every theater in the world. Like, for all I know, there could be an AMC in Florida that could be just coughing on everyone's drinks, and for all I know. But from my experience, it felt really safe, and they took the proper precautions, and there's been no stats that have shown that theaters have caused COVID, because let's face it, the theaters are less likely to spread a virus than, say, a restaurant or a gym. I'm not saying they're more essential. In fact, I'll always say how gyms and restaurants are much more needed than a theater. But bowling places are open. Uh, all these other not needed places open. So why not let the theaters open? And now I can understand what you're saying. A comic book movie is gonna attract way more people. I think either way, there's still gonna be more and more precautions. You know what I mean? And I think people are taking this too far. Now, I could be wrong. For all I know, Wonder Woman 1984 could be the death of humanity. It could cause, the worst, catastrophic disaster in Hollywood's history. From that's a possibility. I'm not saying it's impossible. What I'm saying is I don't think it's right to get Patty Jenkins all the criticism. If anyone should get criticism, it's Warner Bros. But I wouldn't even criticize them because a lot of people in the comments were like, "Oh, why don't you just delay this till next year?" Well, newsflash: Wonder Woman has been delayed 4 times. Even before the pandemic, they delayed it an entire year because it was supposed to be released in December 2019, I think, and then it got to, I think it was July of this year, and then August of this year, and then I think it was November of this year, and then they finally put it to December. It's like they've done it so much. And not only that, but 2021 is going to be a big year if everything goes as planned. You have movies like The Suicide Squad, Dune. Oh my God, there's so many movies coming out next year that if they actually come out next year, my wallets are going to be empty. My wallets are going to be really, really empty. And then it's not even all the theatrical movies. You have movies like Shark Boy and Lava Girl 2, which surprisingly I actually want to watch already. And then you have you have Justice League's Snyder Cut coming out, and it's 2021, so big on movies, and I think rightfully so because 2020 has been a tough year for us movie fans. Like I said, disclaimer: not saying that that's the biggest news. This is just a movie channel, and I like to just talk about movies here. So I know movies aren't the biggest news in the world, but movies are really the only thing I like to talk about. But yeah, 2021 is going to be a big year, and I think it's right that Wonder Woman 1984 decides, hey, why don't we just release it now? Because, we can't hold it back. Because Wonder Woman 1984 is kind of like held in a corner right now, where remember guys, the first Wonder Woman made $800 million in the box office, so they're expecting those numbers. And, Wonder Woman 1984 is kind of held in a corner because if they release it now, they face the fear of theaters, the theatrical release not making as much money, or HBO Max not making as much money, and they also fear that if they push it back enough, they're gonna be in this tough storm, this tough traffic of movies where there's multiple blockbuster movies coming out at one time. And let's remember, the general audience only goes out to the theaters on average like 3 times per year, and so yeah, you run with that risk. And I think now, if I was working for Warner Bros., I'd release it now. I would try my best to make as much money, and I understand them releasing it till Christmas. It's a tough situation for Wonder Woman 1984. Either way, I'm gonna go watch it. I'm gonna take my proper precautions. I'm gonna use Germex. I'm gonna wear a mask. I'm gonna make sure I'm not sick or have any symptoms whatsoever. And I'm gonna enjoy a great flick. Hopefully, it's a great flick. I do think it's gonna be good, but I would never know. Either way, I'm hyped up for this film. I hope you guys are, and I honestly, if you're a big movie fan, if you want to help the theater chains, please go out to the movies if you can. If you don't want to get COVID-19, then don't go, or if you have that fear, then don't go for your own safety. But if you want to help out theaters, I would recommend you go to the theaters. Either way, watch it on HBO Max if you want to save blockbuster movies, because that's the biggest types of movies. A lot of people have been saying, oh, finally Hollywood's going to go down and we can finally see original movies. But the thing is, when original movies are released, they don't go out to support them. So please, go watch a blockbuster film. Go watch Wonder Woman 1984 wherever you can, whether it's HBO Max, whether in theaters. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please help out theaters, or help out the movie studios right now. And if Wonder Woman 1984 succeeds, which right now seems very not likely, I'm not going to lie, I'm not expecting big numbers. I don't think it's even going to make $700 million. Hope I'm wrong about that. But please help out movies however you can. I'm trying to tell people, please watch Wonder Woman 84 wherever you want, whether it's at home, whether it's in theaters. Personally, I'm going to go to the theaters, and I'm going to enjoy a great film. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.